China's foreign minister did respond by saying Japan should have made an explicit statement on the nature of the war of militarism and aggression and its responsibility on the wars, made sincere apology to the people of victim countries, and made a clean break with the past of militarist aggression rather than being evasive on this major issue of principle. For more insight, we're joined from Beijing by Tang. He is a military and foreign affairs expert at the China Institute of International Studies. First of all, are you surprised at the tone of this? I mean, a lot of people were really expecting him to break, as Terence Terashima said. A lot of people looking at this and saying it's pretty gray.
Yeah, to be frank, I was not so surprised by the statement of Japanese Prime Minister, because this is actually an effort by Shinzo Abe try to balance the struggle between the nationalists and the public, and also he tried his best to satisfy the requirement or any demand from its neighboring countries and from the international community, because history is actually a very important part for the relations among the countries concerned in this region. As we discussed before, I think this time Shinzo Abe just tried to use some ambiguous words, though he mentioned aggression, apology, but I don't think this is a basic position from his heart.
It doesn't seem like enough, according to some there in China, I would suspect. What are you hearing? What are Chinese officials, how are they reacting to Abe's speech?
As the spokesperson from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs mentioned, this is not enough from Shinzo Abe to give a very clear-cut expression of his attitude or position towards the historic issues, especially the aggression, and give some frank remorse from the Japanese side. And to my understanding, I think this is really very important occasion. This year is the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II. If the Japanese leaders not gave any clear-cut expression of the attitude toward history, I don't think its neighboring countries can give any satisfactory reaction to his words.
Well, it's interesting. Terence Terashima in his report said that the Japanese, hoping that, he mentioned it was a label in a box, that hopefully there'll be a continuing dialogue between the Japanese government and regional neighbors. But does this really make it difficult for that dialogue to move forward? I mean, there were a lot of people really hoping and pinning their hopes on the fact that maybe he'd take a step further.
Yeah, I think history is one of the challengeable issues the Japanese leaders facing now, and of course there are other dispute. For example, the territorial dispute, island dispute between China and Japan, between Japan and the ROK. So I think the first important thing for Japanese leaders now is to think about the history, and also think about the basic foundation for the normal relations, as we have witnessed in the history. When the Japanese government adopted soft relations with China, with ROK, actually Japan enjoyed the fast development. It's a condition for any country to have stable and good relations with its neighboring countries for its domestic development. So at this moment, I think political relation, economic relation, and of course the attitude toward history should be the comprehensive ideas for the Japanese leader to think about how can they have a good relation with its neighboring countries so they can enjoy the fast development again.
Mr. Tang, thanks so much for your insights there from Beijing.